And the reason why Michael was inviting me, because he did a course with me 2 years ago in Guatemala about divine leadership skills. And I'm teaching people how to be leaders around the globe since 10 years now. And I have just found a way to teach leadership and to lead from a place which is very different than most of the leadership trainings and most of the leadership which is available right now. Because what is very important, what I learned over the years, is in order to lead or in order to be a leader, you need to follow. Like, you need to know who or what you are following. And that's really the main question. Because whatever anyone is leading comes from either from their egos, or it comes from a deeper sense of self, or a deeper place of being guided or being following a kind of higher authority. And how to discern, how to find out what is what and who is who, anyone who wants to lead others needs to be very honest what kind of motivation and where the drive to lead is coming from. If it comes from being superior or wanting to get attention or recognition, or just be dominant and tell other people what to do, or just having some smart ideas where you think others need to basically listen to you because you kind of figured it out. And I have studied like really influential people over the last decades, and whoever I found, it doesn't matter if it was a religious leader or a political leader or a leader in science or in art, any leader who really had a very healthy impact on society or on the people that he or she was leading to was a very inspired or devoted human being, someone who really tapped into the divine consciousness and is allowing him or herself to be led by something bigger than himself or herself. And that's something I really want to talk about today and inspire you guys. So I don't know how many people are listening and whatever is happening, but what the key is, it doesn't matter if you are a leader or if you are being led by someone. It's very important to realize or to recognize that it doesn't matter what you do, you will always teach people, you will always inspire people, and you will always tell people what to do or not to do. Because everyone is always sharing their opinions and their ideas and their concepts and their visions, because that's all everyone can do. It doesn't matter what you do, you will always share what you believe in and where your trust is and where you are inspired to be. So in order to tap into a deeper sense of divinity or a deeper sense of authority, there needs to be an authentic surrender or an authentic trust into something which is bigger than you. And there are many different ways, and you don't have to be a religious person, or you don't need to follow a specific tradition or religious approach, but the key is to have some form of meditation, prayer, surrender, trust, faith into a deeper wisdom or a deeper heartfelt intelligence that everyone can tap into anytime, anywhere. So for today, because we don't have much time, I would really invite you that everyone just asks himself or herself, like, what is my deepest, highest inspiration to be on this planet, to be human? Like, what is it, what I really want to make an impact for? Like, if you were meant to die tomorrow, like, what would be your deepest love or inspiration or deeper calling that you would like to share with others? And the thing is, it doesn't even have to be something incredible big or incredible new or different to what is out there. That's not the point. It's not about some new smart idea. It's about what is your real heartfelt gift or desire that you can make an impact with. Because the question is only like, for whatever time you are incarnated in that body on this planet, there's something you're here to give or something you're here to do. And it doesn't even have to be big, but it has to be you. It has to be something real. It has to come from love. It has to come from your heart. It has to come from a deeper place of compassion and a need to serve. Because the realization that every being who has ever tapped into divinity in any time is that you are part of a whole, an organism. Like, you are not separate. You are not something which is different from someone else. There is only one beingness, one consciousness, which is expressing itself in many different ways. But the key is, does it come from love or does it come from fear? And there is only two choices. It's like, if you come from fear, whatever you will do, it doesn't matter if it's leadership or art or science or teaching or whatever, if it comes from fear and from a place of separation and neediness and lack, you will just create more fear. You will create more dependency. You will create more confusion and more conflict. So, and the only one who can judge that is yourself, basically. What is your motivation? Why are you actually talking? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you spending your time with whatever you do? Where is it coming from? Is it coming from a place of lack, from neediness, from separation, from confusion, from conflict? And are you doing it in order to get recognition or attention or love or money or power or fame or whatever it is? Or are you coming from a place of wholeness, connectedness, oneness, love, compassion, inspiration, and you just want to extend and share the love that you feel? And this can be recognized and realized in a very small way. It can just be a little sense of, oh, I have some pain in my chest or pain in my heart or pain in my belly. And instead of kind of trying to compensate this lack of love with some form of expression or some form of need, you kind of stop and breathe and you feel like, what is the pain that you feel in your body, in your being, in your heart? And give yourself the love and the attention and the care that you need in order to heal that wound until you feel whole again, until you feel inspired again. And only from that place, you can actually act in accordance with love or with life or with God. Because there's nothing else to do. We are so indoctrinated and dogmatized and confused by thinking that there is so much to do, or there are so many things and so much projects and people and needs. But really, there's only a lack of love or sharing of love. You can really break down any activity on this planet into these two categories. And the question is only, where are you? Where are you coming from? Where are you leading from? Because everything you do, you're always leading. Every interaction you have with other people, other beings, is always a sense of like, hey, I want to guide, I want to lead, I want to inspire, I want to move, I want to teach whoever I'm encountering. And it doesn't matter if it's a casual conversation between lovers and friends and parents, or if it's a business conversation or a political or religious conversation. It doesn't matter. It's always only the question is, am I coming from wholeness, from love, from oneness, from connectedness? And only you can ask yourself this question. Whatever role you have in your life, take a breath, stop and ask, how can I serve? What do I need in myself first in order to really show up as a divine being, as someone who wants to inspire and help and support others? Where am I still trying to compensate through manipulation, through control, through money, through power? The ego is very clever. the most, really the most beneficial activities and projects can be disguised in so many ways, just from coming from a lack of love and trying to compensate for something that you didn't get in your childhood or from your lover or from your parents, and you're just trying to do something to fill that void and to fill that need of love and recognition and compassion that you're lacking. So, and who can give it to you? You need to give it to yourself. You need to find a way, and we don't have the time today to teach that, but I can only inspire you. Whatever you do, if it's therapy or prayer or meditation, or you have some form of guru or teacher, or it doesn't matter what it is. Use whatever you can to heal your personal wound, your personal lack of love, your personal separation from God and from love and from life, to really show up as who you are meant to be, who you're meant to be on this planet, in this life, in this time, to really share the gift and not contribute to another greedy, needy, manipulative leader, teacher, entrepreneur, scientists. You know, there are already so many out there who really try to do something good, but they can't, because they are so full of pain and suffering and disconnection and separation that all they do is just amplifying and multiplying this need, this confusion in whatever they do. So, and I'm not here to blame any of them, because the only thing to blame is ignorance. There is no one to blame. People are suffering, deeply, deeply suffering from a lack of love, from a disconnection, from a separation from God and from love. So it's not about us to attacking or judging or blaming anyone. It's finding the ignorance in ourselves. Where is the lack of love in us that needs to be addressed, that needs to be healed, that needs to be taken care of in order to really show up as who we are and who we want to be, in order to help this planet to evolve and to heal and to create beauty and abundance wherever we go. Okay, that was what I wanted to share. There's not much time left, but if there are any questions about it, please let me know if I can answer some.
Hi, I'm Gleb. Thank you so
Hi,
much. How do you find that motivation? That's something that I've been struggling with for some time now. So maybe you could help me. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very easy. The motivation is suffering. Any real motivation, and that might sound weird, comes from suffering. Because if you recognize that you are suffering, that you don't feel whole, you don't feel fully loved, you don't feel fulfilled, then you feel that there is a need for love. You feel it in you. There's something missing, there's something lacking. So something needs to be done in you in order to heal whatever lack or fear or pain that you feel in yourself. And this pain can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be energetically, it can be mental, but it's some form of suffering, some form of disconnection, some form of unease that needs to be addressed. And once you find that, and you find whatever way, it doesn't matter, to heal that, and to whatever degree you can heal that, if you experience this form of healing, then from that place there will come compassion, because you realize you are not the only one suffering. Like almost everyone on this planet is suffering deeply, and most of the people don't have the means, they don't have the resources, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the people in order to help them. They are not, the only way to deal with suffering is suicide, drugs, manipulation, war, and you name it, all that stuff. So once you realize that that's what's happening on this planet, and you found a way to heal your own suffering, then all you want to do is give. All you want to do is serve. all you want to do is help others in order to overcome their suffering. So this motivation, it's not something that you need to make up from your mind, like, oh, what kind of motivation should I have? You know, it comes from a deep longing from the own suffering that you have experienced and that you have healed, that you want to help and serve others to do the same. Okay. Was this helpful?
Yes, I think I need to ruminate on it.
Okay.
I took some notes as you were speaking, but I think so. Thank you.
Yeah, and it takes some time. I mean, really, this takes time. This is a process. This is a real process because it's not an overnight thing. Most beings, if not every being that I know who really has come to a deep place of illumination or a deep place of healing, has gone through intense suffering and intense struggle in order to heal their own wounds and their own feeling of separation in order to really show up for who they're meant to be. Okay, any other question?
Can I ask, since if no one's asking any other questions, perhaps I'm curious, what started you on your journey?
Again, in my way, it was very easy. My journey started when I was 16. I basically was grown up in a very healthy family, very wealthy environment. I basically had everything that a child could ever want, and I was deeply suffering. I was very depressed, and I had no clue why. I didn't even know why. So I was suicidal. I started to become very drug addicted. Until I was 19, I was completely fucked up. And I realized there's only two ways. Either I'm going to kill myself, or I'm going to invest all my time and energy to heal myself and find out what is the real cause for my suffering. And basically that's what I'm doing now since 22 years. I started with meditation, with Vipassana. I did a therapy training. I did was in many different traditions with different teachers. And all I did basically the last 20 years was trying to heal any form of conflict, sense of separation, confusion, or pain within my mental, emotional, and energetical body. And to that day, I'm still not enlightened. I'm still working on myself, and I'm still helping other people to do the same. And it's a journey. It's a journey, and that's why we're here, to heal that suffering, because it's actually not individual. It's not even personal. It's collective, and it just expresses on a personal level. And we all think it's about individuals, but there is just deep ignorance on this planet, and a deep sense of separation and despair that any being that heals that in themselves contributes in a big way to healing on a collective level. And from that place, you can start leading and inspiring and guiding others to do the same. Okay, so yeah, I don't have much more to say because we don't have the time. And I'm not interested in advertising myself and how great I am and whatever. So I just wanted to share with you that any real leader out there has to come from a divine place or from a place of love. And I don't know what's going to happen after this conference, but I'm in very close contact with Michael, and we're going to create more stuff with coaching and Coach Find and creating new resources and platforms in order to support people. So what I want to inspire you is, like, whoever you are and wherever you are, just try to commit to use any kind of resource that is available to you. Is it therapy or meditation or prayer or plant medicine, or it doesn't matter. Before you try to make an impact on the world and try to change something outside of you, try to heal it inside of you first. Try to address the wound where it is. And once you heal it, then you really have something to say, and then you really have something to give. Otherwise, it's a distraction. And you might find enough explanations and reasons why you can still do it, but on the end, you will find that you're lying to yourself, because you cannot really help someone if you're still in pain and in conflict and in suffering, because it's going to be a distraction, basically. And you have to be very, very, very honest in order to really recognize that. And it's a painful process, so, but it's worth it. Yeah, so, and even what any kind of book that you find which is inspiring on that level is also very useful, you know? When you read really good scripts about Mahatma Gandhi, for example, or Amma, or Krishnamurti, or whoever was a big leader in any religion or any sense, read their biographies. That helped me a lot to read people, or Gurdjieff, you know, whoever is inspiring to you, whoever had a huge impact on this planet in a very positive way, read their autobiographies or biographies, like who these people are and what they went through, on what they had to commit and what they had to let go and to renounce in order to be who they are and to show up the way they did. Because these lives can be very inspiring, and it's very, very useful to read that and to contemplate and to meditate on these lives, and to find the strength and the inspiration and the motivation to become like them, and to show, of course, in your way, but to find it needs a tremendous power and motivation to break through the ego pattern of separation and struggle and blame and attack, to really come to the place of wholeness and fulfilledness. It just takes a lot of energy and a lot of commitment. So it's for me, it was very helpful, and it's still very helpful to read other people's lives who went through this, or Byron Katie or Eckhart Tolle, whoever, you know, read them. They're just, it was not easy for any of them. And suffering is part of the process, and it has to be embraced. And at one point, you can even see that suffering is a great teacher and friend who helps you to evolve from limited ego patterns. Okay, if there's no more questions, we have 5 more minutes. I would pass over to Corinne, sorry. But please feel free, we have another couple of minutes. If there's anything you want to share or ask, I'm happy to.
Well, actually, my name is not Karina, but Katerina. Thanks for your talk. It was really interesting, but like I suppose that it was supposed to be an interview, so there would be much more questions for you further. Like, wouldn't you mind giving like a couple of comments for my corporate blog, answering like a couple of dedicated to the industry questions, and I would really appreciate to hear like this type of motivational talks, like really.
Of course.
Then let's catch up. I'll just drop you a line. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.